All right, I'm here with Joe Desena live in. Are you in Massachusetts, Joe?
I'm in Massachusetts.
I want to thank you for leaving soup at my house. I ate it the next day. It was delicious. And
Poison.
of course, now you're frozen. Say that again.
I said it was poison soup.
Well, I would think that, except that it's now several days later. Dave Watson, are you in what country right now?
I'm somewhere in Southeast Asia.
Which is not Latin,
just
it's
woke
not
up.
Latin America, Matt.
Are you on the lam? Are you hiding out somewhere?
I'm
Dave Watson?
hiding out. I'm hiding out, Matt. You just woke me up. I'm drinking a little poison soup. I'm ready to go.
You know what he's drinking, right? Spartan tea.
This
David
is the best
doesn't
stuff.
go anywhere without a Spartan tea.
Can we talk about improving the finish line drink? I'm not a huge fan of Fit Aid.
You know what? The customers love Fit Aid. They love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the most popular things, Matt.
I say this all the time. I can drink almost anything when I finish the race because I'm parched. And then the test is, let me try another one. And if I don't like the second one, then I know it's bad. And so I'm not a Fit Aid fan.
That's okay.
That's the test.
That's the test.
Can we send him some Spartan tea?
Yeah. We'll get you hooked up, man.
I talked to the tea lady. I like her.
Yeah. Forget about the tea lady. Let's talk about the tea. I'm not selling tea ladies.
Joe, what if we started selling tea ladies?
Business would probably be really good, but we're not doing that. We're not selling tea men.
Listen. I know this is supposed to be about the points, and I swear to God it will be, but I'm just dying to ask you, Joe, both of you actually, as business dudes, what do you think about CrossFit killing their social media?
I love it, actually. I love it. I don't know about what David thinks, but if I had my way, mark my words, pretty soon I'm going to get out a sledgehammer, and I'm going to smash all the phones in our house, and I'm going to film it. I'll probably have to film it on a Minolta camera because there won't be any phones anymore. They're all going. My son and I were just in a car for 30 minutes coming back from wrestling practice. He didn't look up once.
I know it, dude. I know it well. Now, is he watching videos or is he playing the games?
You know what? I couldn't see over the wrestling bag because he was holding the phone down. And every time I got aggravated, he looked up and engaged with me, and we spoke. And finally, the phone ended up in my pocket.
Right. Yeah, my son does two things. He plays the Fortnite, and then he watches the videos about the Fortnite.
Yeah.
And I think our boys are the same age.
It's coming to an end.
Isn't it called Fortnite, Matt? Not the Fortnite. I think we're out of our depth.
Matt thinks everything's an event. So for him, it's the Fortnite. It's like some obstacle.
Right. The only other thing I would say to that, Matt, is that Joe runs a business in 47 countries, basically off a phone and his laptop. So if he smashes it, we're in big trouble.
I'm going to put everybody on SOS. What are they called? The SOS, the old little tappers there?
It's too early. The Morse code.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome if we all went to Morse code?
It'd be interesting.
Right? I could see somebody in the office walking over to me with like deciphering the code. David from Singapore, we have a problem. Send back to David. What's the problem? Stop.
I just think there'd be a lot of send help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, in the most simple terms that you can, do you want me to summarize first? How do you want to start this explaining the points business? There's Jackson right there.
Yeah, let's do it. Bottom line is the biggest issue with the $1 million purse, what we're trying to do here is I'm trying to get Bank America, true story, Matt, I'm trying to get Bank America to let us into the vault so that I could fly in Atkins, VJ, some of the folks that would love to like sniff and walk around the $1 million in cash. So I'm actually working on that.
Yeah, they do that at the World Series of Poker, right? When they get to the final table, they bring the money in, and it makes it, real and exciting.
Yeah, yeah. I want to do it before the final table. I'm trying to get it done soon. Yeah.
No, I was just saying as a concept. So I'm gonna start this year. There's not just one prize for one man and or one woman, because last year you realized after the first race it's left to two people, not nearly as exciting, right? So
Definitely.
so almost immediately I recall, Joe, you saying we got to do this better next year. We got to get more people involved, and so here it is. And we're in May, so this is for Spartan timeline. This is phenomenal. Usually it's like the night before the race, right? So here we are in May. You guys have actually devised a plan. There's a spreadsheet. It's not ready for infographic or meme yet, which I know is Spartan's preferred form of communication to its customers, is to show infographics. It's not quite ready for that, but I've looked at it and it looks pretty fleshed out. And why don't you take it from there, David?
Yeah, I can. I mean, Joe should jump in as well. Joe called me up one night and he said, this is what I want to do. Now, Joe's background, obviously, he's a Wall Street guy. He knows how to move numbers around.
I thought he was a fucking. Oops! I thought he was a pool cleaner. I thought that's what he did. He cleaned filters. He pulled the Barbie dolls out of the pool filters.
How do you know about the Barbie dolls?
Because I've been around a pool in my life. That's what happens.
No, there's a backstory. We have to do another call another time to talk about the Barbie dolls. There's a whole story there you don't know. That's
okay. Great. I'm intuitive that way. Anyway, I guess Joe also spent some time on Wall Street.
He did, and he knows numbers, and so we started talking, and we came up with a system that is basically. I like it because you can refer to it along the way and track what's going on. And it's also more generous, as in it pays a lot deeper in places than we ever have before. Now, this is on top of the regular prize money, right, which is already clearly the biggest in OCR and one of the biggest in endurance sports in the world. With this system, this is the biggest prize money in endurance sports in the world. Okay, so it's really simple. You finish your place at the World Champs and you finish your place at the Trifecta World Champs. So if I finish first, I get a point. If I finish second, I get 2 points. If I finish fifth, I get 5 points. I add them together. Let's imagine I finished first and first. That'd be amazing. That'd be beyond amazing. It'd be impossible. I finished first and first. I get 2 points, Matt. Then I figure out how many miles did I run at the Ultra World Championship in Sweden. And I subtract my points from that total mileage. That'll give me a number. If I run 100 miles, I subtract 2, gives me 98 points. I check the table. What does 98 points get me? Oh, 1 million. So, and then it works its way down from there, right? So we step back for a minute, just keeping it general. There are different tiers below that. 97 points gets you so much. 96 points gets you so much. And it keeps working its way down to about 28 places deep. Make sense?
It does. And just to recap, because it took me a second,
yep.
It might be easier to think the other way. Take your mileage first, right?
I'm working that way because chronologically, that's
I know it definitely makes sense chronologically, but I know for me it just took a second. I'm just
sure.
Right, because this is
yeah.
people.
One sentence elevator pitch. One sentence elevator pitch without the
right.
drama.
So let's take my final mileage. If I do 75,
Matt, just to unconfuse it, 1 and 1 was 2.
Right.
I think we lost Matt. I know that
That's
was.
it. That's it. I give up. I quit. I quit podcasting. I'm quitting all of it.
That's the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh my God.
Sorry to put in the tough algebra, Matt.
That was amazing. Well, when you're adding numbers and then you're subtracting, trust me. People are gonna. I'm gonna get 20 messages about this until your infographic comes out, and then there'll probably be an error. No offense. Probably something will be wrong because that happens, and then I'll have to explain it again. If you take your total mileage in Iceland, sorry, Sweden, and then subtract whatever your placement is in both races.
Yeah.
You get a number, and the lower we go, the less money you get. And
Correct.
70 to 89 gets you $1,500, which is not bad, right?
It's not bad. It's not bad. Now, those numbers we're talking about there, I should clarify, Matt, that there's a different scale for male and female competitors. Okay, so
yeah, people got very mad at you last year that it was the same.
We don't think. Let me jump in there. Our theory was it would be harder for a female to get to 100 miles, but so I don't know what did we end up doing? What does 100 miles equal for a female, David?
78 points. So let me just do a quick bit of math. Keep talking, guys. I'll just plug it into my little thing here.
Well, apparently it's 20 miles.
80 miles. If you came,
80 miles.
The minimum way to do the minimum distance you'd want to do if you came first at both the World Championships would be 80 miles as a female. Now you can do less. You can do more miles and finish lower in the table at Tahoe or Sparta. That'd be another way to do it. 80 miles.
Now, how many miles did the winning female do last year? Do you know off the top of your head?
Around 60.
Okay, so it's a bit of a jump. Now, can we go straight to the bonus? Because this, to me, is the part that is like super generous.
Before we go to the bonus, one concern I have, we're just speaking openly here, is I don't know her last name. This very famous 20-year-old ultra runner, Courtney
DeWalter.
Yeah, she could run the 80.
Yeah,
well, she could run the 80 if she doesn't spend half of the 24 hours doing burpees.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's a person that could walk away with the million, and so that's a little scary.
Well, but she could do 80, and she has to finish first in Tahoe and Greece, and that's not going to happen. It could in a year if she spent a year getting strong, maybe.
I think there's a lot of strong candidates. Matt, we're doing some cool things at the moment behind the scenes in terms of the expansion of the sport of Spartan, where you're going to see a lot of new and interesting athletes over the next 12 months. So Joe's point is spot on. If people might look back and go, oh, well, how easy is it to do 100 miles? Well, a lot easier than it seems on face value. Yeah.
Well, again, it's Joe. I love that Joe has brought athletes to Spartan, and sadly, when they get their butts handed to them, they don't like to stick around because they're not used to losing. I wish they would stick around more.
I'm confused in terms of you mean in terms of champions that do well at Spartan?
Well, this actually is very timely. I don't know if you heard, but Hunter McIntyre just got this wild card into the CrossFit Games. And there's a lot of controversy around it because he didn't earn it, and he's just, he's just popularity contest, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, listen, people show up to my sport, OCR, all the time, and I just wipe the floor with them because that's what I do. You guys shouldn't be afraid of me. You should be like, great, bring it on. So I'm saying, I'm as invested as anyone. I make my living doing this. I want OCR to grow, and I want these athletes to come and stick. But mostly what happens is they come, they don't do so hot, and then they don't stick around. And we need to get them to stick around.
I think it's hard for them, right? I mean, even Lance, right? Lance came out, no matter what you think of him, and he no contest, right? So,
right, and it would have been awesome, right? Wouldn't it have been awesome if he stuck around and worked on his upper body and worked on his grip strength and see what he could do in a year?
It's a rugged sport. There were not a lot of people from other countries that wanted to go hang out with the Spartans and fight Persians.
Right?
Yeah, it was. They took no prisoners. It was you came home or you didn't.
So I want to get to this exciting part, and I want you to mention, David, if nobody wins the million, then what happens to the points and the payouts?
So, if you can imagine a column of payouts, with $1 million at the top. Let's say that $1 million doesn't get achieved. Because to scratch that, take every payout below that, and then flip that around now and double it. So basically, the second place prize doubles, third place doubles. So the value of the prize pool essentially doubles, and yeah, it's a very fair, realistic, and rewarding system, I think.
All the way down to many places, right? When you get down to that bottom, 70 to 89 for the men, 45 to 69 for the women, it stays at 15. But above that, 35 becomes 7, 4,000 becomes 8. I mean, that's huge.
So just for everybody listening and watching, Matt's reading out the points that would be required, right? When he says 79, 89,
right.
70, he's reading the points out.
Now, here's a point of question, which I've never been sure of, actually, I don't think. When someone wins in Greece, are you paid in drachma? I don't know. Whatever.
You do rubles everywhere.
I'm being serious. Are you paid in? Is it USD?
Greece is part of the European Union, Matt. They use euros.
Not Latin America, Matt.
What's a drachma?
I don't know. Count Dracula used it.
Former currency of Greece. Screw you guys.
I know it is. I'm just shitting you, Matt.
Okay, no, but seriously, when you win in Sweden, are you paid in euros or USD?
You pay in euros.
So these dollars are euros.
No, because this is not a payout in Greece. It's a payout in Sweden. Again, Sweden is in the Nordics. Because 1 + 1 is 2, Matt.
2. That's right.
It used to be Matt never works past 5 p.m. Now it's going to be Matt doesn't know basic math and Matt doesn't know geography. Clearly they're bad at a lot of things.
No, it's all because of the one time Matt was coming to
oh my God.
He's going to the Philippines and I'm in Tokyo. And he said, hey, let's get lunch. And I said, well, I'm in Japan.
You weren't in Japan.
You're going to the Philippines.
You were in Singapore.
I was Singapore, and you were going to like some other fucking country. I don't remember where it was, Australia. And I was like, that's not the same country. He goes, well, it's close. Anyway, we're just fucking with you.
I know. Singapore to the Philippines is only a 3.5-hour flight.
That's right. It's a quick trip.
Listen, you wouldn't visit me if I was in Florida and you're a 3.5-hour drive. So come on, I'm not going to jump on a plane.
Dude, I've driven to Pittsfield from Boston. That's like 3 hours.
That's true.
Okay, so let's stay focused. What do the prizes pay out? Do they pay out in the country or they pay out in USD?
This is USD we're talking about.
We're talking USD here.
Okay. So do you think we've explained it well enough or should we start over?
Take the first race. Take your score. Take the second race. Take your score. Add those two together. That's the addition sign. Okay? Now, once they're added together, deduct that number, that cumulative number, from your total miles run in Sweden. So just in America, there is a place called Tahoe. You do that race, you come in a place. That's a number. Got it? Add it to the second number, which takes place in Greece, which is in Europe, in a country, in a little place called Sparta. Got it? Are you with me?
I'm right with you.
Those numbers go together, and then you deduct that number from a race occurring in Sweden, in the Nordics. You can get paid in cash, U.S. dollars.
Well, that's going to be the picture. Hang on. I'm going to take a picture of that. Hang on. That's genius. Okay, hang on. Yeah, keep that going. Hang on.
All right.
You know what you should do, David, is now write 100 minus 2 equals 98.
Okay, right. Sure. Let's do that. Yeah, do that next. Now, listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm not being paid by Spartan to say this. If you think a guy's not going to get $1 million, you would be foolish not to go. Anywhere in the top 10, that's real money. 10 grand is real money, especially if you're a young kid, not old like us. We have lots of expenses, right? I mean,
That's real money.
10, 20, 30, 40 grand if the payout, if somebody doesn't go $1 million, that's real dollars.
That's on top of the prize money.
Well, I don't even know what is the prize money. What's first place? 6,000. Last year was 6.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, hold up that sheet of paper again.
Here's a question for you, Matt. The first 2 races have lapsed. There's been a first place winner and the same first place winner in male. There's been a first place winner and a first place winner in female. So they both are vying for the $1 million.
Right.
A bunch of other athletes are right behind them in second and third, men and women.
Right.
What kind of tension is taking place around those athletes not running the 100 miles and the 80 miles, right? Because second place, third place, like that's a double payout. So that's interesting tension, right?
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
and Matt,
yeah.
the other thing I'm going to say is in terms of when you're talking money, don't forget the cumulative value. Like first place at Tahoe is $20,000. You know,
has it been that, or was it 15?
We've jacked it up a little bit. Yeah.
So if you're
$100 grand, right? I mean, without winning the $1 million, somebody could walk away with real money.
Oh, real money.
What's first place in Greece?
5,000.
Okay, bit of a drop, but okay. So
now you're up to 25 grand. What happens second place in Sweden?
Second place in Sweden is $4 grand. So $8 grand.
Sorry, you took first place, but you didn't get the $1 million. So what did you get?
Oh, my bad. Let me just move my phone across, Matt. So if you got second place, if nobody got the $1 million, Joe, then
you got first.
And you got first, you get 50 grand.
Here's what you should do. I like that you said you were paying, that you were doing the $1 million thing, like smelling the money and all that. I feel like you personally, Joe, should be at the finish line just with big wads of cash. We'll get a couple security guards, and you just hand it to them as they come across. Just here's a big stack. Right.
I'm not opposed to that. What comes to mind, because you and I didn't pre-record this, what would be very on brand for me would be to put the money back up on the mountain somewhere, and they got to go get it.
Well, that's Joe for you. Yes, that's very much your thing.
In the snow. I mean, with a map, of course.
Now, here's what I'm going to go. Let's go ahead and I want to end on this point. And then I can get this up even tonight, and trust me, people will listen, even though it's it's only not that late on the West Coast. It's super early where you are, Dave.
It's not that bad. I got a 2 hours sleep.
Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh,
you all right?
Yes. What people tend to say is, well, they're going to make it not doable, right? Like too many carries, or they're going to make the course funky, or they really don't want anybody to win. That's what the cynics will say. They don't want anybody to win that much money.
They're making a mistake, right? Because Dave and I and the board of directors were discussing it, and we came to the conclusion that we should make it really easy to give away our money.
Because
we're not in business to survive. We're in business just to throw money away. So we should make it really easy. Come on. It's ridiculous. Of course it's going to be fucking hard. Are you kidding me? Show me one activity in the world. Like, oh, they're going to make the Super Bowl team that we have to go up against tough. Of course. It's going to be fucking hard.
Running a 2-hour, 2-minute marathon.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah.
Right?
It's not
JFK,
going to be easy.
can you imagine JFK? Like, the moon's too hard. Let's just go to Florida.
I'm going to make, you guys have those signs out now on the trail race, and maybe you have them on the regular race too. Like like you have those quotes. I think you should do that one. The moon's too hard. Let's go to Florida, and then dash JFK.
John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
I like that. But yeah, so the cynics would be correct in that it's going to be fucking hard, but the point is, we're not out to also like be stupid about it. You've still got to be able to run it, you know. But yeah, it's going to be ridiculously hard. It's $1 million.
It's basically going to be 1 in a million. But the good news is if you crushed it and you came within striking distance, as David just pointed out, you're walking away with $75,000.
Right.
A nice fucking year's pay.
Joe, did your dad know Joe Kennedy?
My dad did not know Joe Kennedy. No.
Did he know anybody in that family?
No, that was more blue blood. We were more black blood.
All right, listen. I don't want an exact date, but when will something be out that people can start to look at?
I think we forced David to get it out by Monday.
No, don't do that to him. Every time I see David, he talks about how hard he has to work. So let's take it. Let's give him a break.
He looks like he's working hard. He's drinking Spartan tea. The sun is shining. The guy looks happy as can be. You and I look worn and weathered. This guy.
Yeah. No, we're going to get it out in the next few days, man.
All right.
So let's point out too, though, by the way, I just want to say one thing because I want to put this down. Atkins could have easily done a 13th lap last year, right?
And that would have been how much money?
Which would have been just under 90 miles. And I was standing with Atkins I ran with Atkins on his second last lap, and he was fine. Now, when I left to go charge some camera batteries, he went out to do his last lap, and I think he was like, there's no one to talk to, can't be bothered. But Atkins definitely had it in the tank. So 90 miles, definitely possible. Plus 10 on that, that'll just give you a point of reference.
But let's
interesting stat for your
right. But let's just throw it out. Okay, but let's play this game, right? So if he came in second in Tahoe, right?
Yep.
And let's just say he would have come second to Albin in Greece. Let's just throw that out there, right?
If Albin shows up.
Well, I'm just saying if we use last year's model, he would have 100 minus 4 is 96. He would have won 40 grand.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Now he would have won 40 grand in Sweden, but what would he have won in the first two races? In second place.
Well, yeah. What's second place in Tahoe? 15?
He would have
10?
won $15,000 at Tahoe for second place. So 17,500 cumulative, and then he would have got second place. Or you're saying he would have won first place at the Ultra, right? So that's 24.5, and then plus the 40. So
yeah, good couple months for that guy.
65 grand.
Right, more than most of our teachers make.
Yeah, for 3 days' work.
Well, I mean, he does train.
Everybody trains, even the teachers.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to get this up as soon as I can.
See ya.
We're going to get you one of those teachers as well, a math teacher.
Kumon. Check out Kumon.com. It's a Japanese math learning system. Kumon, Kumon.
All right. Good night, gents.
Thanks, Matt.